ways. This particular one says use the allowable stress design method. Find the allowable axial compressive load, that's P, for the following wood columns using Doug fir larch number 2. Okay, so we're going to go through a table, the process. So our problem is going to be C, 6.2C, and it's 6.2C is an 8 by 8 with 18 feet using number 2. Doug fir larch number 2 is the species and grade. It's an 8 by 8 and it's 18 feet of unbraced length. Okay, I'm going to introduce you to the formulas. I'm going to tell you how to get back and forth for the data, and then we're going to do this problem. So I'm going to get this one done, and then we're going to quit for the day. Okay, so let's do it. Let's see if we can do this relatively painlessly, I hope. Okay, the main equation, the one you'll be focusing on, is on page 238, almost near the bottom. It says P equals FC star CP A. And if you read what it says, A is the area. So where are you going? Table 8.8. That'll get you that. CP, column stability factor. I'll tell you what that is. It's a number that relates to length to cross-section to tell how fast it's going to buckle. That number will never exceed 1. If you got a number you're putting there that's bigger than 1, you've got a problem. So it's going to be between 0 and 1. So it'll be a decimal. So we'll calculate that. FC star is the compressive strength of the material factored. That's what the little star means. So I'm going to use a table to factor it. So if I look at this, I've got what? FC star, I've got CP, and I've got A. A by far is the simplest. For this problem, I can already fill that in. All I got to do is go back to the back of the book, go to page 76, 77, look up an 8 by 8, look next to it, and the area is 56.25 square inches. Okay, so I can already do this for my problem, 56.25 square inches. So this is going to be table A8. 676677. So that's a good one. That's easy. Okay, this next easiest one is FC star. Okay, we've already talked about this. It goes back to the table that we had a couple lectures ago, and that table is on page 194 and 195. Okay, if you look at it, we are in a column situation, so you're going to be using the unit on that table that says posts and timbers. Okay, so you got posts and timbers, and you're going to use the one that says dimensional lumber for all. We've already talked about this. Hopefully you still remember. Okay, so you're going to use the top one. So you got two choices, and the one is going to be dimensional lumber, 2 to 4 inches thick. That's the top cell. The bottom cell is posts and timbers. Greater than or equal to 5 inches. You're going to pick a number out of the table. Ours happens to be 8 inches. 8 inches is not 2 to 4. It is greater than 5. So I would be down below. All you do is find the species which is Doug Fir Larch. This is the only table we got, so you don't really need to worry about that. But you got to find number 2. So I have 2 numbers there. If you will follow me, put my finger on number 2 in the dimensional 2 to 4 and go across to FC, I get 1350. If I move down to greater than 5 and put my finger on 2 to 4 or number 2 and go all the way across, I have FC of 700. So you got to make sure which one you're in. Okay, if this is the case, this is the part that will mess you up. Okay, if it's 2 to 4, I got to take FC out of the table. Table 5.1. Okay? Now, remember these are 2 different cells. That's the top one that's labeled this. This is the bottom one labeled that. Okay, take it, and if it happens to be greater or equal to 5, whatever you pull out of the table is FC star. Okay? So once you got FC, you got FC star. We talked about a couple tables, and if you go to the table 5.1, we talked about table 5.2. It's on page 197. It has an FC column. Okay? If it happens to be 2 to 4, you got to take FC and multiply it by the value from table 5.2, the FC column, and multiply it, and that equals FC star. So it depends on which width. 8 by 8 is 8 inches. If it's 8 by 6, you would use the 6 inches. Okay, it's the least dimension. So there's how you get FC star. So you go to the table, 5.1 for both of these. If it happens to be greater than 5 or greater, just make it FC star. It's between 2 and 4. Find the value in the table, 5.2, multiply it, and you're done. So that takes care of this one. Now the CP is a bear. Okay, it's got some formulas that are pretty large, a lot of variables. So we're going to go through it. It's a 2-part formula, and it requires you to gather some data. So to find this, first I got to find FCE. FCE equation is on page 239, about a third of the way down, and it looks like this. Constant okay, there you are. There's the FCE equation. Once I have that, then I can do the CP equation. So I'm going to put a little guy right here like that. Okay, where do I get it? 5.1. Okay, that takes care of that one. What about this problem statement? Okay, mine is 18 feet. I got to make sure it's in inches. Okay, make sure this is in inches. Okay, what is D? D is the least dimension of the cross section. Least cross section dimension. And where do you get it? Well, you find the member in the problem statement, but you have to go to table A8, 676, 677. So if it's an 8 by 8, you'd look at it. Okay.